Om Shri Sai Ram. Dear students, welcome back to this last lecture on the topic electricity. So far we have discussed about various concepts and we have seen how various parameters, the physical parameters which play a crucial role in the flow of electric current. So, in the last lecture we have summed up the whole chapter and we have seen where we started with and which all parameters play a very important and crucial role. Now, in this lecture we will be taking up few numericals so that we get a hang of how to solve some of the numericals and check theoretically what will be the values, and later when we have a look at the laboratory, when we go to laboratory to perform experiments, we will be knowing as to how to verify them experimentally as well. So, let us start with our numericals. The first one, just go through the question carefully. Compare the power used in the 2 ohm resistor in each of the following circuits. So, there are 2 circuits that are mentioned here. The first one being a 6 volt battery in series with 1 ohm and 2 ohm resistors and a 4 volt battery in parallel with 12 ohm and 2 ohm resistors. So, go through the question carefully for a minute and let us see how do we solve it. So, as per the question, if we see, there are 2 resistors of 1 ohm and 2 ohm which are connected in series across a 6 volts voltage source and a 12 ohm and 2 ohm resistors which are connected in parallel across a 4 volt voltage source. Now, they are asking this, what is the power in this 2 ohm resistor and what will be the power consumed in this 2 volt resistor. So, in the first case, case 1, they have given 2 resistors which are connected in series and then they are asking calculate what will be the power in the 2 ohm resistor. Now, we know the formula for power. Power is having 3 expressions. One is V into I square R, V square by R. So, I anyway know the resistance now here. So, either by calculating current or voltage across this or current flowing through this 2 ohm resistor, I will be able to calculate what is the power. Now, since this is a series circuit, whatever current, the total current is there, the same current flows through the 1 ohm resistor and the same current flows through the 2 ohm resistor. So, the current will not change since the circuit is series. So, therefore, what is the resistance in series? R effective in series R1 plus R2, that is 1 plus 2, 3 ohms is the effective resistance in series. So, let us calculate the total current now. I know voltage is 6 volts, resistance, total resistance I calculated is 3 ohms, so that a current of 2 amperes flows in the circuit. So, now we have seen the total current in the circuit is 2 amperes. So, in this series circuit, total of 2 amperes flows through R1 as well as R2. So, I know the current 2 amperes, I know the resistance here. So, what will be the power formula in terms of current and resistance? It will be I square into R. So, I square, that is 2 amperes whole square into resistance is 2 ohms. They are asking us to calculate the power usage of the 2 ohm resistor. So, therefore, it will be 4 into 2 is equal to 8. The SI unit now, SI unit of power watt. So, 8 watts is the total power consumed by the 2 ohm resistor when connected in series. Now, let us go to the case 2. Again, there is a 2 ohm resistor here which is connected in parallel with 12 ohms. So, they are asking what will be the power consumed in this 2 ohm resistor and how do these two vary. Now, since this is parallel circuit, whatever voltage is there, the supply voltage, same voltage will fall across each resistance. So, what is the voltage across the 2 ohm resistor is 4 volts. I know the voltage, I know the resistance. So, therefore, power in terms of voltage and resistance will be V square by R. So, it will be V square. What is V now? 4 into 4, 4 square divided by R is 2 ohms. It will be 8 watts. So, when I have calculated power in the first case across the 2 ohm resistor connected in series, the total value is 8 watts. Similarly, the power used by this 2 ohm resistor is 8 watts. So, therefore, in the case 1 the power consumed is 8 watts, and in the case 2 the power consumed is 8 watts. So, this will be the result, the way we solve. Also, we can also use the other formula here. Suppose we calculate in series, the voltage differs. So, suppose I am calculating what will be the voltage across this 2 ohm resistor. So, knowing the voltage value, I can as well use V square by R here. Similarly, suppose I know the total current in the parallel, when it comes here, it splits into 2 parts. So, current through this if I know and resistance if I know, I can as well use I square into R. So, whichever formula we use, the final result will be 8 watts here and 8 watts here. So, with this we conclude the first numerical. Let us go to the second one. So, let us have a look at the second question. They are asking an electric refrigerator rated at 400 watts, which means the power is given for the refrigerator is operating 8 hours a day. What is the cost of the energy to operate it for 30 days at rupees 3 per kilowatt hour? So, let us write down the values first, what things are given. So, they have given the power used consumed as 400 watts. Now, I want to convert it in the commercial unit, that is kilowatt. So, therefore, I divide it by 1000, I get 0.4 kilowatts, and then time is 8 hours. So, therefore, if I want the energy, electrical energy, it will be the product of power and time. So, power 0.4 into time is 8 hours, the unit will be kilowatt hour. So, electrical energy is 3.2 kilowatt hour and 8 hours in a day. So, therefore, 3.2 kilowatt hours per 1 day. Now, they are asking us to calculate for 30 days what will be the energy consumed and the cost of 30 days consumption. So, for 30 days electrical energy consumed will be, so for 1 day I know 3.2, for 30 days it will be 3.2 into 30. So, 3.2 into 30, it will be 96 kilowatt hour. So, the energy consumed in 30 days will be 96 kilowatt hour. Now, we know that per, so the data is given for us now. So, per 1 kilowatt hour, kilowatt, watt should be capital because it is named, the unit is named after the scientist. So, always remember, whenever you are writing any unit which bears the name of the scientist, it has to be a capital letter. So, per 1 kilowatt hour, the cost is 3 rupees. For 96 kilowatt hours, what will be the cost? Basic unitary method, we know that cost for 96 kilowatt hour, or this kilowatt hour is also called 1 unit of electrical energy consumed. It is nothing but 1 unit when consumed. So, for 96 units, so for 1 unit I know 3 rupees, for 96 units it will be rupees 288. So, this is how we calculate. So, because one component is given for us, no refrigerator, we have calculated power. In some of the numericals, what they do, they give 4 or 5 components, and for each component you should calculate what will be the total electrical energy. So, for component 1, component 2, 3, 4 we know the total electrical energy is adding E1 plus E2 plus E3 plus E4. Now, that electrical energy for 1 day we know what will be the number of units or number of kilowatt hours consumed. for as many days that are asked. In our question they are asking for 30 days. So, it will be what? 30 into whatever number of units that you are getting. Now, for each unit the cost is given for us now 3 rupees. For these many units what will be the cost? So, this is the general way in which we solve numericals related to calculating the cost of electrical energy. Let us see the next one. Start. The question goes thus: two conducting wires of the same material of equal lengths, equal diameters are first connected in series and then parallel in a circuit across the same potential difference. What is the ratio of heat produced in series and parallel combination? So, this is the question they are asking now. Now, let us see what they have given. So, they have given two identical wires of same material, which means the material characteristic of a material is the rho, the resistivity. Rho is same, length is same, diameters are same, which means what? Diameter is same means radius will be same. If the radius is same, areas will be same. So, it will be area of cross section. If I call A here, here also it will be A, and they are having, so which means what? The resistance values are equal now. We know the formula for resistance, R is equal to rho into L by A. Now, for both these materials, rho, L and A are constant, they are same, which means what? The resistance values will be similar for both of these wires. So, I call the resistance here as R. So, here also it will be R. Now, what is happening? First, these two resistors are connected in series across a potential difference of V. And in the second case, these two resistors, the same wires are connected in parallel, which means R and R, these are connected in parallel across the same potential difference V. So, whatever potential difference I apply here, I apply the same thing here. They are asking us to calculate the ratio of heat in series and heat in parallel. Now, we know that there are three expressions for heat energy: I square R T, V square by R into T, V I T. Now, in this question, I have resistance and voltage. Here also I have got resistance and voltage. So, I should choose the formula for heat in such a way which will include voltage as well as resistance, which means this expression I need to choose. I need to use heat energy as V square by R into T. Okay. So, let us calculate what is the R effective or resistance in series. It will be R1 plus R2, it will be R plus R, it will be 2R. So, the heat energy in this will be V square divided by R effective in series. So, it will be V square divided by 2R. So, the heat energy is V square by R into T. So, V square by 2R into T. So, in the first case, heat energy in series will be V square by 2R into time. Let us see this side. We need to calculate the effective resistance in parallel. We know the expression 1 by Rp is 1 by R1, which is R, plus 1 by R2, again R, which is 2 by R. So, 1 by Rp will be 2 by R, which means resistance or effective resistance in parallel will be R by 2. So, the heat energy in this side, heat energy in parallel in the second circuit, when I call HP, it is parallel, it is V square by R parallel into time. So, I get V square by R by 2 into time, which is nothing but 2V square by R into T. So, one side I have heat produced in the series circuit, on the second side I have heat produced in the parallel circuit. So, therefore, they are asking what is the ratio of heat produced in series to parallel. So, what do we do? Hs by Hp will be the ratio of V square by 2R into T divided by 2V square by R into T. So, we assume that for the same amount of time the current is flowing. Okay, so therefore the heat energy is, we take the time to be constant. Voltage is anyway constant because the same voltage is applied in the first circuit as well as the second circuit. So therefore when we simplify this, we have Hs by Hp will be V square by 2R into R by 2V square. So V square will cancel, R and R will cancel. So the ratio now will be Hs is to Hp will be 1 by 4 or 1 is to 4. So the heat generated in the series circuit to the heat generated in parallel circuit will be 1 is to 4. So with this we arrive at the conclusion for this numerical. Let us see the next one. The last question they are asking, how would you connect 3 resistors, each of resistance 6 ohms, so that the combination will have a resistance of, in the first question they are asking 9 ohms and in the second one they are asking 4 ohms. So what is the question given for us now? There are 3 resistors and each resistor is having a value of 6 ohms. So let us see this now. Each resistor, there are 3 resistors, each resistor is having, let us have a look at that, each resistor is having 6 ohms resistance and they are asking us to calculate how should we combine all of them, should it be series or parallel, which way, so that we get a effective resistance of, in the case 1 9 ohms and in the case 2 4 ohms they are asking. So have a look at this question now. Let us see how do we solve it. So 3 resistors are there. So we have to see trial and error. Suppose if we connect all of them in series, what will happen? What will be the effective resistance? R1 plus R2 plus R3, which is nothing but 6 plus 6 plus 6, 18 ohms we are getting. Is it the desired result? No, because they are asking for 9 and 4, so therefore there is no point in connecting all the 3 in series. Now if you connect all the 3 in parallel and then calculate the effective resistance using the formula 1 by Rp is 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. We see that the total effective resistance found here will be 2 ohms. So this is also not desired because they are asking how should we connect them, what should be the combinations such that either we get 9 ohms and 4 ohms. So all in series is wrong, all in parallel is also ruled out. So let us see the next one. Suppose if I connect, so the first one is wrong, second one is wrong, third one. Suppose I connect 2 resistors in series, these 2 in series, and then I connect the third resistor in parallel. So 6 ohms and 6 ohms in parallel with another 6 ohms. Okay, so these 2 are in series and with this the branching is happening and the third resistor is connected in parallel. So let us see now what will be the effective resistance. These 2 are connected in series now. So what will happen if you simplify these 2 connected in series? So effective resistance will be one single resistor of value 12 ohms because R1 plus R2, 2 resistors are connected in series. Effective resistance, the final resistor will have a total of 6 plus 6, 12 ohms. So these 2 resistors are now replaced by one single 12 ohm resistor, the effective resistance. And to this 12 ohm, we are connecting another, the third 6 ohm in parallel. So we have broken up the whole circuit into 2 parts. So first this parallel we kept the same way, we kept it like that only. First we simplified these 2 resistors in series and then we have found that combining these 2 we get a single 12 ohm resistor in parallel, a single 12 ohm resistor which is now in parallel with a 6 ohm resistor. So now I know these 2 are the resistors now, the final values. So 1 by Rp will be 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. 2s are 12. So, 3 by 12 or 1 by 4. So, 1 by Rp is 1 by 4. So, that implies Rp, the final resistance in parallel we get here is 4 ohms, and this is the desired result, because if we combine the 3 resistors in this way, we are achieving 4 ohms. So, this part of the question is taken care of. So, 3 6 ohm resistors, if you combine them in this particular fashion, so we have verified series, it is wrong, all the 3 in parallel wrong. Now, 2 series and 1 parallel, we have got this. Now, what is the fourth option left now? 2 in parallel, 1 in series. So, 2 resistors in parallel, and for that a single resistance in series. So, 2 6 ohm resistors in parallel and 1 6 ohm resistor in series. So, that will complete all the 4 combinations for us now. Okay. Now, again we have to break up the circuit, the overall circuit. We have to analyze first this part, and then once you analyze, what will happen? There are 2 resistors which are connected in parallel. So, if you replace these 2 resistors in parallel, 1 by Rp is 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2, 2 by 6 or 1 by 3. So, Rp will be 3 ohms. So, I can remove 2 resistors each of 6 ohms which are in parallel. I can as well keep one effective resistance of 3 ohms. So, these 2 are replaced by single resistance of 3 ohms. Why we got 3 ohms? Because these 2 are connected in parallel. Now, for this 3 ohm resistance, the 6 ohm which is connected in series will join. So, what will happen now? 3 ohms and 6 ohms which are connected in series now. So, what will happen? The effective resistance will be 3 ohms plus 6 ohms, which will be 9 ohms. And yes, this is the desired result, because in the question they have given us how should you connect 3 resistors of 6 ohms each, so that we get a final output of 9 ohms. So, this way we connect. So, given 3 resistors, there are 4 combinations. Now, as you keep solving numericals, we will be checking that as the number of individual resistors increase, the combinations will also increase. So, just by so as you keep practicing, you will know which combination to choose quickly, so that we get the desired result. So, once I know, now we could have as well dropped this, the first one. Why? We could have just left this, because all the 3 when you connect in series, just add up all of them, 18. Is 18 here? So, we need not even calculate this. But because these kind of numericals we are solving for the first time, we have done that way. So, as you keep practicing, so what will happen? You yourself will know which combination to quickly pick up and then get the desired result. So, these are the basic numericals of from electricity, and then some more numericals are listed out in the exercise. End of the chapter there is an exercise. So, therefore, request all of you to go through and attempt numericals given in the exercise, and then we can have some more better insights into this chapter. So, with this we conclude the last lecture on electricity. Thank you and Sai Ram to you.